2.
Good evening and welcome to the City of Farmers Branch Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. It is presently 6:30 p.m. Monday, September 23rd, 2024. I'd first like to begin by thanking the commissioners for their service, particularly Commissioner Miller, who served as chair in my absence, and also to all of you for reelecting me as chair. So thank you all for that. Up first, item A1, discuss regular agenda items. That takes us to item C1, consider approval of the September 9th, 2024 Planning and Zoning Commission minutes and take appropriate action. Commissioners, any typos? Yep,
No issues. Look good.
you have something?
Typo, middle of page 3. It says the motion was made by Chair Freilich.
You don't want that job?
You weren't here then.
I'm teasing on you, of course.
We will make that adjustment. Thank you.
All right, any other errors, corrections? All right, seeing none, we'll move to item C2. Consider the request for final plat approval of the station, Block A, lots 1 through 19 and 20X located at 3940 Spring Valley Road and take appropriate action. Lily, you'll be presenting?
And the applicant will be here as well for the regular meeting to answer any questions.
Great. Any questions for Lily?
This one.
So it's just that nothing's changed, it was just the final plat. I mean, there's no surprises, nothing unique from previous drawings or whatever.
Yes, sir, it is completely consistent with the detailed
Yes.
site plan that was previously approved.
Great. Okay. Well, seeing nothing there, that will take us back to item A2, training and overview of the Planning Department website and online zoning resources. All right. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Commissioners. And so this is an item that was requested at our last P&Z meeting. And the question was just, if I'm looking into a development case and wanting to find more information on the history of a property or a zoning district, where do I start? And so all of you should have in front of you a list of website resources, and this will list all of the items that I'm going to go over tonight, which is our online zoning map, our PD and SUP ordinances, the agenda center and past meeting minutes, and then our online records archive. And then the handout in front of you does have some additional resources that aren't included in this presentation, but we thought would be helpful for you to see. And so I wanted to take the request that's on tonight's agenda just as an example. This is the staff report for the plat that we just discussed for the station townhomes. And you'll notice that there's some key information in here that you can use to do additional research if you wanted to. So starting out, you'll notice, of course, the property address is included. And then in the description, we mentioned that this is Planned Development District number 106, or PD 106. And so if you wanted to learn more about that zoning district, there are 2 key resources that I would recommend using first. The first is going to be our interactive zoning map, and the next will be our list of PD ordinances. So I'm going to switch over briefly and go through each of those. And I have them preloaded here, but the exact steps to get to each one on our website are included in the handout. So this is our interactive zoning map. It shows you zoning information for the entire city. You can search for any address, or you can zoom in and select a parcel. You'll notice the different colors represent different zoning districts. So anything in purple is going to be a planned development district. Anything in red is our retail zoning. Yellow is typically residential. And as you zoom in closer, you'll notice that the number for the PD or the label for the residential zoning will appear. So in this case, we are going to search for our Spring Valley address, which is 3940 Spring Valley. You notice it comes up right away, and when you click on it, it'll take you straight to the property. So a couple of important features that I want to point out are on the right-hand corner, we have a base map gallery. And you can turn on aerial imagery so you can see the surroundings of the site. You can see this image is a little bit older, so it shows the fire station that was previously constructed on this property, which has since been demolished. And then the purple again is the zoning district. So when you click on it, a little pop-up will come up and tell you the description. There's also a link to the DCAD parcel information, which will take you directly to their website if you wanted to look up ownership history or the year the structure was built or any information like that. But going back to the PD, there is a link right here to planned development districts. And this will show you the ordinances for any PD district in the city. So in this case, we're looking for PD 106. You would scroll down and select the ordinance here. And this will take you directly to all of the development regulations, your setbacks, building height requirements. And usually if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll get your site plan, your landscape plan, and your building elevations. And so this is just an example, of course, but you can do the same thing for any zoning district in the city. And then on the map on the left, you'll notice our layer list. So beyond just the zoning district, you can find other information in here. For example, you can find out if there are any specific use permits applicable to this property. In this case, there aren't any. But if I scroll out just a bit, you can see over here all these areas that are in orange means there's an SUP approved. So for example, this is the 7-Eleven on Spring Valley, and you can see that there's an SUP, and it'll link you directly to that ordinance. Other information you can access on here would be overlay districts. So we have our entertainment overlay district on the east side. We have certain overlay districts for beer and wine sales, alcohol sales, and you can see those in blue here. And there's lots of information in here. You can kind of play around with it. And of course, if you ever have specific questions, zoning staff is here to assist. But this is one of the primary resources that I'd recommend starting with. Does anybody have questions on the interactive map so far? Okay. And although there's no SUP for this site, on the website, in addition to our PD districts, you can also see every single specific use permit that has been approved in Farmers Branch. There are lots of them. So if you know your ordinance number, you can click through and find it on our website as well. And then going back to our presentation, beyond just the address and the PD district, if there is a case history on a specific property, we will detail in the staff report the prior council approvals and the ordinance or resolution number. So for example, here, we're considering the plat tonight, but in 2022, the city council approved a zoning amendment and they approved a site plan. So here, there are a couple more resources that can be used to find information on those cases. One is just our agenda center, which is the same place you go to get the P&Z agenda every meeting. And then the second is our city records archive, which is available to the public. And I will switch over to those right now. So going back to just our agenda center, again, this link is the exact same that we send out for every P&Z meeting, but you can filter it by city council, planning and zoning commission, any other commission or board in the city. So we know that this case was approved in 2022 by the city council, and you would hit search. And then you can scroll back and see every meeting date. We know that this was the May 3rd meeting date in 2022. You can find the meeting agenda here, scroll through and see what else was considered. And then you can also link directly to the meeting video if you want to go back and watch exactly what was discussed.
You have a lot of time.
Exactly, if you're really invested. This is an example where for some reason the minutes aren't leaking right away. You can see them for most other meetings, but that's not an issue because we have our last resource, which is the Farmers Branch Records Archive. And here's where you can look for resolutions, ordinances, minutes, and agenda packets. So we could click into minutes, city council, and then you navigate to 2022. And here's where you'll find those May 3rd council minutes, the signed version. You can see exactly what was discussed. And again, these are not the only resources that we'd recommend. There are others on the handout, and I'm happy to go over any of them. But these are great starting points if you ever want to look into zoning history. And I hope that helps as a starting point. If y'all have any questions tonight, let me know. If you come up with questions next time you're researching something, you can contact us anytime.
Great, thank
Can
you.
you go on the interactive map and it has those blue dots that connects to the ordinances that are connected to that?
Yes.
Okay.
So on the interactive map, let me get back to,
And so it can be more than one ordinance attached to that plat, Okay.
sure. So the little dots you're seeing are just address points.
Oh,
So in this
okay.
case, because there are 19 townhomes, there are 19 address points.
Gotcha.
But there definitely can be multiple PD ordinances. A good example of that is Mercer Crossing on our west side. That's PD 99. And when you look here, there are multiple ordinances that come up. That means there was an original ordinance, and then over time, it's been amended. So sometimes you do have to click through a little bit and see if anything has changed for your property over time. And that's where planning staff can assist and can clarify if needed. Any other?
The archive list, that only goes back to 2020. That's digitized. We'd have to go somewhere else for older files.
So the Agenda Center here goes back to, looks like 2013, but our archive goes back much further. Oh, you're right, council does only show, oh no, here we go. So you've got it sorted by decade first.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
No, thank you, this has been very helpful
Yeah, that's
and in alignment with our goals around continuing to, do training and education. So, thank you.
Absolutely. And we are going to email out a digital copy of this resources list. That way you can click the direct links and all that. Great.
How long has that system been updated like it is today? I mean, is this something that you guys been working on for 3 or 4 years? Or?
So all of these resources are things that have been in place for a good amount of time, definitely since I've started with the city. I can't speak to before that, but this Agenda Center has been in use for at least the past decade. Our interactive map has been available. I would say, Brian, you're the most tenured at this point, as the interactive map always been available.
It has.
Yeah, so these are things that we update consistently over time, but they are definitely out there. You do have new resources that, and as we add them, we'll definitely keep the commission informed, but a good one would be our Be Informed page that we've looked at a couple of times. To get to that, you go to the city's homepage, and then there's a Be Informed button, and this is updated periodically with the most recent cases. So that's an example of something new. It's any other questions? Thank you for your time.
Again, thank you. Very much appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, with that, it takes us to item A3, discuss agenda items for future planning and zoning commission consideration. Commissioners, any requests, thoughts, needs? Sounds like we're pretty well set. Okay.
We do have a list of upcoming training opportunities that staff has compiled, so Brian's going to hand that out right now. Many of them are things that we've talked about in the past, but we just wanted to get all the dates in front of you. A recent one that we've added is the training next week, Amber, that you had forwarded in Addison.
I believe October is next week.
I know. Great, thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right.
And I'll just quickly run through these.
Yeah.
Hi, Brian Campbell, Senior Planning Technician. So as Sarah pointed out, on October 1st, which is next week, we have the Strong Towns Book Tour that's being hosted by UMAT, which stands for the Urban Management Assistance of North Texas. That was one that we recently added that Amber brought to our attention, so thank you for that. And then October 16th through the 18th, of course, we have the state APA conference in Allen. It's not too late to register if you'd like to go. Just let me know. And then jumping to next year, the North Central Texas Council of Governments will be hosting a training session, a 2-day training session, January 6th through the 7th. That's a Monday and a Tuesday. This one's specific to Planning and Zoning Commission commissioners and other elected and appointed officials. From what I understand, it's a very successful training. It's been popular in the past. And then on February 21st, that's the tentative date for our Focus North Texas Conference. So for those who aren't familiar with this specific conference, so it's basically everything that you would get in the state conference, but rolled into one day. And what makes this one unique is that all of the panels and speakers and discussion are all focused around issues specific to North Texas, hence the name. This one's put on by the Midwest and North Central sections of the Texas chapter of the APA. We had to skip it last year, so I'm very excited that we're doing it again this next year coming up. It's a great time. And then finally, July 25th, that's the tentative date for the next Midwest section elected and appointed officials workshop. So this is the training that we had just this past summer. Myself, Lily Sutton, and Sarah Bergman, we all attended with some of our commissioners, and Mayor was there. It was very well received, so if you can make it out to that one, I'd highly recommend it. If you have any questions about any of these, feel free to give me a shout, and I will email this to you all because this does have clickable links too.
Thanks. Thanks again, Brian, and thanks to staff for putting these resources together for us.
Absolutely.
It's very helpful, so much appreciated. All right, seeing no additional items for Commission's consideration. Oh, you had one?
Well, just a question.
Sure.
In previous things, the city has offered to pay the tuition for these, but the P and Z one, or the ENCT COG one is pretty dear. Is that something y'all pay for? Is that?
We have
We have
we have money in the budget for it to pay for y'all to go if you're interested.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
We look at them case by case, but
Okay.
we do have a training budget, and so we can look into next fiscal
Okay,
year.
because that one's, I mean, the other one was like $30 to go to the one in North Richland Hills, but this is a little
Yeah.
bit more expensive.
It is. Well, yeah, it's a 2-day conference and they're providing lunch all day.
I'll take lunch, all right.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically, yeah, it'll be a 2-day session from like, I believe 9 to 5 on both days, and they will be providing lunch both days, so.
Yeah, in addition, if there are other training opportunities that y'all see and you're interested in attending, please feel free to reach out to us and we can look at our budget and see what's available.
Oh, and I just would point out quickly that the Focus North Texas and the Midwest training, those are both Fridays.
Awesome. Thank you again. So I think with that concludes our study session at 6:48 p.m. And we will reconvene downstairs for hopefully a fairly prompt 7 o'clock start. And we'll hear our plat then. Great. Thank you all. Good evening and welcome to the City of Farmers Branch Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. It is presently 7 p.m. Monday, September 23rd, 2024. I'd like to begin the meeting by thanking the commissioners for their service. And then up first on our agenda is item B, citizen comments. This agenda item provides an opportunity for citizens to address the Planning and Zoning Commission on any matter that is not posted on the agenda. Anyone wishing to address the commission should complete a citizen's comments registration form and submit it to the chair prior to the start of the meeting. There is a 3-minute time limit for each citizen to speak, with a reasonable limitation on speakers on any one topic or item, with a maximum of 15 total minutes on the same topic item. Anyone wishing to speak shall be courteous and cordial. The Planning and Zoning Commission is not permitted to take action on a subject raised by a speaker during citizen comments. However, the Planning and Zoning Commission may have the item placed on a future agenda for action, refer the item to the Director of Planning for further study or action, briefly state existing city policy, or provide a brief statement of factual information in response to the inquiry. And this evening, we have Lauren Reeves. Please introduce yourself and give your name and address as you address us.
Hi, good evening. Lauren Reeves, 2609 Farmers Branch Lane, and I am here on behalf of the Sustainability Committee. I wanted to introduce myself to you all as a fellow committee member, and also just let you know that we are very open to ideas in ways to collaborate with other groups. So if there are interesting ideas you want to explore or talk more about, we would be more than happy to do that. And I did want to let you know that we also have a few events coming up. One is a hazardous waste event this weekend at the Sinlac Center. We also have our tree giveaway and shredding event on October 12th. And the tree sign-up sheet goes live tomorrow at noon. They go fast, so make sure your calendars are marked. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much. All right. Up next, we'll go to regular agenda items. Item C1, consider approval of the September 9th, 2024 Planning and Zoning Commission meeting minutes and take appropriate action. Commissioners?
Well, I'll move to approve the minutes with the small change that was noticed in the study session.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
All right, motion second. Any further discussion on the item? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor? All right, that carries unanimously. Thank you very much. All right, up next, item C2, consider the request for a final plat approval of the station Block A, lots 1 through 19 and 20X, located at 3940 Spring Valley Road, and take appropriate action. Thank you, Lily.
Good evening, Commissioners. Lily Sutton, Planner. Today we're going to be discussing a final plat for the Spring Valley Townhomes. This property is located at the southeast corner of Spring Valley and Vitruvian Way. It is for 19 townhome lots as well as one common area lot. And a detailed site plan was approved in 2022 for this property, and this is consistent with that site plan. And with that, I would like to answer any questions you all may have, and the applicant is here as well.
Commissioners, any questions for staff?
I know we're just looking at the plat, but do we have an elevation that shows us anything about parking? I was just looking at the streets, and is it underneath parking? Do we know, or is it outside parking under a shed?
Yes, sir. Each individual unit will have a 2-car garage inside of the unit, and then there are a few surface area parking spaces as well.
Thank you.
Any further questions for staff? All right, Commissioners, do we have any questions for the applicant? Questions for the applicant? Okay. Applicant, if you wouldn't mind, just step forward, state your name and address for the record.
Good evening. My name is Jordan Zongel. Address is 3963 Maple Avenue, Suite 330, Dallas, Texas, 75219.
Thank you.
Thank you. I was just curious, have you built anything in our city before?
This is our first project in Farmers Branch, and we're very excited to be here. We do have a development that's underway just around the corner in Addison, on Beltway, near the intersection at Midway. That's our closest development.
Was there, can you tell us why you pick Farmers Branch and some of the amenities or the thought process that you may have had?
Sure, yeah, so what we specialize in is infill development. So we've done a lot of shared access style projects in Dallas, in the old East Dallas area and Bishop Arts area. And we've kind of grown out further from Dallas proper. And Farmers Branch is an area that just has a strong community feel, as well as the demographic that we view as being favorable for townhome developments. And it's also just been a city that we've enjoyed working with and see a lot of potential of being in community with.
Can you just generally give me a narrative on things like what you expect a price range might be, or, the date of start, date of completion, that sort of thing? And I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I'd just like to hear a little bit of background.
So I don't have any specific information on what the price range is going to be. For this product, this is a two-bedroom product. I would expect that to be somewhere in the 500 range. That's not really my expertise.
I understand.
In the business, so just
But
stated that.
but you know what the cost is per square foot, and I don't know what the unit size is, so.
The unit sizes are, they're between 1,500 and 2,000 square feet.
Any other questions for the applicant? All right, thank you so much.
It's great, thank you.
We appreciate it. All right, with that, we will consider action on the agenda item. Oh, that's not a public hearing, right? Correct. Sorry, it's just a plat, but thank you for pointing it out because I have neglected that in the past. So you're on it very well.
I'll make a motion to approve the plating as outlined.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Second.
And seconded. Any further discussion on the topic? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor? All right, that passes unanimously. And this is a plat, so it doesn't need to go to city council? So, yeah, congratulations. Thank you very much. And with that, we will adjourn. It is presently 7:07. Thank you all.